Okay, gentlemen, you both received your instructions. Obey my command at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Anything from here on up is good. Anything from here on up is good. Touch gloves. Good luck to you.
Circus out.
Allen Higgins, the third man in the ring for Eric Priest, who's 15-0 with 8 KOs. A definite big test for Eric Priest tonight, as the veteran Luis Arias, who's a plus 500 underdog here in Las Vegas, is thinking upset because he feels different. And Sergio, you're saying he's a live dog.
Very live dog. Look, man, I've been following Luis Arias for some time now. When he went the distance with Daniel Jacobs, I was impressed. When he beat Jared Hurd, I was really impressed. This is a guy he's kind of one of these guys that never gets an opportunity, but when he does get an opportunity, he can either upset you or just give you everything and really make it tough for you. We're going to find out a lot about Eric Priest in this fight, because it's do or die, last chance for Arias.
Yeah, Arias said, I'm not a gatekeeper. I don't want to be a gatekeeper. He's on the B-side tonight against the undefeated hot prospect Eric Priest, who, with the distance with Tyler Howard in his last fight in January, controlled that fight, and everybody can tell him, this is going to be your toughest test. Passed that with flying colors. Actually, training with Julian Chua, they feel like they have a different connection now. One of the things is letting him sit down on his punches for Priest in the white.
Yeah, right now I like what I see with Priest. He's using the entire ring right now. He's not staying in front of Arias too long. He's going left, he's going right, keeping the fight in the middle of the ring. That's what he's going to have to do to beat a tough guy like Arias. Stay off the ropes, keep the fight right in the center.
And Jorge Capetillo, the trainer for Arias, said we need to come out aggressive and be first, and he's doing that.
Good shot by Arias. He landed a good right hand. Priest ate that
Don't push
up.
him off. Don't push him off.
And for Arias, with those 4 losses and a draw at 34, yeah, I don't want to be the gatekeeper, but if you're losing, you're getting pushed that way. A win turns things around for you.
That's actually one of the first questions I had for him when we spoke to him in a fighter meeting. I wanted to see where his head was at, where his pride was at. Yeah. And you know what? He gave me the right response. He had hunger in his voice. He said all the right things. It's a last chance, and he knows it.
There's so many fighters, you know, they start off young, the hot prospect, bigger shows, and you see them in their mid-30s, like, okay, do they have it, or are they just here for the check? It's Arias like, no, I got that fire still.
This is a perfect opportunity for him to upset the apple cart. I mean, Eric Priest, there's a lot to like about him.
Absolutely.
But he needs to get tested. I want to see how he reacts when he gets, you know, in a rough fight. Arias likes to make it rough. The only way that Luis Arias wins this fight is if he makes it a tough and rugged fight. And Priest shouldn't allow that.
Yeah, Priest should be boxing and controlling this fight. If you're the hot prospect, right?
Which is what he's doing right now. I like the bounce in his feet. You know, he's keeping the range. He's using his advantages. I like that quick jab right there. So far, so good. But when you're dealing with veterans, you know, these early rounds, they're letting you be the young man. They're letting you use your youth and vigor. The experience will come in later.
10 seconds to go in the opening round. This was scheduled for 10, our co-feature, Golden Boy Fight Night from Las Vegas. Priest saying he doesn't hit hard, and Julian Chua telling him, don't worry about that.
Yeah, power's always at the end of the list. Like I said earlier, Beto, it's technique, it's speed, it's a lot of things. Punch placement, punch selection, power comes in the end.
Well, Priest asking, was that my round?
Yeah, well,
should he worry about that?
No, he shouldn't worry about that. He should just be worried about jabbing, keeping the fight in the middle of the ring, and following instructions. I love Julian Chua. I love listening to Julian Chua in the corner. It's concise, it's to the point, and he says all the right things at the right time.
Yeah. Julian Chua trained at Wild Card with Freddie Roach and Marvin Samudio, now at Brickhouse Boxing in Southern California. He has Zurdo Ramirez there. Good environment at the Brickhouse gym. And for Arias, who's been going for different trainers, he was at Churchill in Southern California. He was with Salas here in Las Vegas, where these two actually sparred once, but neither of them really remembers. Nothing memorable there.
Yeah, Arias is going to have to move his head, make Priest miss in order for him to get off balance. It's put Priest off balance. Priest has really good footwork. Nice in and out style.
Okay, got it.
So in order to get him off that rhythm, you're going to have to foot feint. You're going to have to get him in position, get him to react to something that's not there. Then you attack with your aggression. That's what Arias needs to do. See, that's what you don't want to do is make an easy target for Priest. You don't want to give him a target. You want to keep your head movement, defense. Don't let him touch nothing. Even though those punches aren't landing, Beto, they're not landing cleanly on the face or they land on the glove. You get good to you. You get a rhythm. You find some comfort. But when you make them miss, you're making them second guess. That's what you want to do with young fighters. Make them miss.
There's Arias who's missing.
Let it go. Stop.
And Arias rough.
Stop, okay? Listen, all right?
Salty vet moves right there.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to expect from Luis Arias. That's what you're always expecting when you're going to see an Arias fight. Once he gets on the inside, he works the body, both hands, comes over the top. He makes it rough in there. That's his fight.
It's our co-feature, the main event still to come of Darius Fulgham and Beck the Bully here in Las Vegas.
That's a good jab right there by Priest. On the inside, on the outside, I like that.
Step back. Watch your hands, okay? Watch your hands, okay?
Referee Alan Huggins with a warning for both of them. Be careful. As the second round is winding down. Good shot from Priest.
Nice shot. That perfect timing there by Eric Priest.
And the time is Arias hit after.
1 point deduction.
Oh, and he's getting a point deducted.
Already?
1 point deduction. I told you before. Listen, okay? No hitting on the break. Time in. Box.
Alan Huggins is not messing around. Arias.
Nice right hand. Beautiful shot right there. He caught Arias coming in. And look, man, one punch was free. One arm was free. He was able to punch with that free hand. I didn't like that point deduction at all by Alan Huggins. Let the man fight on the inside. That's how Arias is going to win this fight, by making it rough.
Yeah, Huggins was holding their hand.
Yeah, that was terrible deduction.
Yeah, you would be more of a warning. But
one harsh warning would have done it, but right away to deduct the point, not good.
That's big. Eric Priest in 2024 had decision wins over Luca Loso and Jose Sanchez Charles. He swept the cards, but they were pedestrian-like, where he didn't leave anything where you're like, oh my God, I gotta see him. Got the work, got the experience,
good shot.
But he looks different today.
Good shot by Priest. Beautiful right hand.
Priest coming out aggressive. This isn't the Priest we saw last year, and he's letting his hands go with combinations.
No, it is not. This is exactly what we want to see from Eric Priest. But it was a nice short right hand that hurt Arias.
Arias trying to get off the ropes, and he does it to the middle of the round, but he's got his hands up as Priest is controlling this round. All Eric Priest in the first minute.
I did not expect this from Eric Priest, man. This is beautiful combination punching. Every punch in the book, being responsible defensively, not smothering himself. Excellent work by Priest.
I've never seen Priest look like this, and I've called all of his Golden Boy fights.
Don't swing him around.
Don't swing him around. That's exactly what you got to do, is swing him around. Yeah.
Hands free.
Arias swinging, missing, finally gets an uppercut through. Priest keeps on coming. Halfway through the third round. Man, he's looking really good. Look from Priest as he gets out of there. Bouncing on his toes in white and red.
Step back. No kidding punches, okay? Box.
Keeps on throwing that jab is Priest. Then he follows it up with a hook. Arias with a hook of his own. Right hand and a hook from Arias. He's fighting back with a minute to go in the third.
Nice hook there by Arias. That's something that Priest shouldn't do. He fights tall, shouldn't pull back with his head in the air. Even though his hand was up, he can still get clipped.
Arias with a body shot.
You got to stay low if you're a taller fighter. You got to stay low and pivot out.
Stop. Step back. Box.
Nice jab right there. Popping that jab.
It's been so effective here in the third round for Priest, that jab. Big swing and a miss for the kid from Kansas.
Priest was trying to set up that uppercut, but you know, it's a dangerous punch to throw as a lead punch. Arias was coming over the top of the right hand. Priest was looking for that uppercut. It'll serve Eric Priest right to start jabbing and boxing like he was in the first, second round. Don't exchange, not this early against Arias, not against a veteran.
Excellent third round for Eric Priest.
This is Eric Priest, an aggressive Eric Priest right there. That right hand was nice, but he landed a delayed jab that broke the monotony and then popped him with that right hand. Perfect shot. See, it wasn't a 1-2 right off the bat, Beto. It was a 1 with a pause. Then he came with that right hand perfectly. And this is where the referee, Alan Huggins, is getting a little bit too much involved. This is exactly what fighters do. Yes, he used his arm to maneuver him around, but that's what you see in the gym. That's what you do often. That's what you get taught. It wasn't worth the harsh warning for that. I don't like to see referees get involved way too much. We already seen a point deduction. You don't need to get involved anymore.
And Priest sprints out of his corner. Already had a 10-8 round in the second as Arias had a point deducted for hitting late. This is a different Eric Priest.
Good right hand right there by Arias. That's what he needs to do. He needs to use his disadvantage in height. You know, you can get yourself smaller and come over the top with the looping shots of a taller fighter. But you got to set that up with jabs downstairs, with foot feints, and get the younger fighter to get overconfident to come over the top.
The game plan from Capetillo for Arias was come out, be first, be aggressive, take charge. It's not working, Sergio.
No, it is not. Not yet, at least.
Yeah, we were talking about it before, about how Priest has been the slower starter, hasn't got out of third gear many times. No, not tonight. At least so far.
No, he needed it. I think he needed it against a veteran like Luis Arias. You know, you gotta let him know that you're not the young in here. Just because you're the young bull doesn't mean that you're gonna let the old bull take control.
And you see the total punches thrown through 3 rounds.
Arias should be jabbing at the belly. There you go. That's what you need to do as a shorter fighter. Aim at the chest and jab your way in, aiming at the midsection of Priest. And more upper body movement. That's what I want to see from Arias. In order to break that distance, you got to do it responsibly. Moving your head, making yourself smaller and smaller.
Priest able to escape whenever he wants.
There you go. That's what I want to see from Arias. You want to start digging the body.
Good jab from Arias.
That's what I don't want to see from Arias, is looping over the shot, over the top, missing like that, falling off balance. As an older fighter, that takes away your legs when you miss.
Overhand right. Sergio, to that point, Capetillo was telling me when Arias was getting his hand grabbed, he's like, Arias has a tendency to fall in love with the overhand shot. We don't want that. We want to go to the body.
Hands free.
And look, there's nothing wrong with those overhand shots, but you got to fool your opponent into them. You got to get your opponent to get lazy and just start thinking of body. You know, you jab them downstairs, throw a right hands to the body, let them get a little bit overconfident. Then you come over the top. You know, smart young fighters like Eric Priest, they're not going to fall for that right off the bat. You gotta fool them into it. You got to lie to them early. There you go.
And he goes upstairs, says Arias in red.
That was a good combination of the body by Luis Arias.
Final seconds of the 4th round. This was scheduled for 10. Our co-main is starting to heat up. Arias ready to go. Middleweights going at it. It's just Eric Priest with a different energy tonight. I like it.
Yeah, and he needs it, man. He needs to be alpha in there and dominate a guy. You can't give a guy like Arias too much confidence. He's been in there with the better names, the former champions. You can't let him get comfortable. You got to make him feel like the older fighter.
Arias coming off a win 84 days ago where he went to India. Knocked out Shiva Thakran, a big-time fighter in India. Like, how does the kid from Milwaukee end up there? He's like, I was just looking for a fight. They offered it, and I went. Anthony Pettis, the MMA fighter, said, I have a connection for you. And that's what he did.
Hands free, hands free.
But he's 4-4-1 in his last 9 after starting off 18-0. Let's go to Julian Chua.
Julian, we have a very active priest right now. What do you like from him so far?
No, I like what he's doing. He's following our game plan. He spent a little bit more than I wanted him to when he bursted over there, but for the most part, he's boxing beautifully.
And he's controlling the fight. What have you been telling him in between rounds?
Just to not load up so much, you know. He just needs to let his punches flow, just like that. Smooth shots. Don't tense up before he punches. Good defense. Good defense. Come back off that roll.
Thank you, Julian.
Smooth shots.
Yep, I agree with Julian Chua. You know, you don't want to overload and put too much power in between with the shots and with a veteran. Guys like Arias can catch and counter really easily. You want to make it difficult for them. You got to use the entire ring. Use your youth, your vigor, your jabs.
Priest with a couple of body shots landed as Arias is making the effort to go to the body. Right hand from Arias, that connects flush. Priest with the jab.
The early rounds you could expect the younger, fresher fighter to do well, but the second half where the veteran in Arias should do better. If he plans on winning this fight and getting back to a big fight, he needs to make it rough. This is his fight right here. Once he gets on the inside, make it rough.
Arias been there, done that.
And jab your way in. There you go, jab your way in, dig to the body.
10 seconds to go in round number 5. Everything that Priest is throwing gets a big reaction from his fan base. Reminder, there was a 10-8 round in the second round after Arias was deducted a point for hitting late.
Thank you. Good job. Box.
As Priest was saying, this is the toughest fight of my career, but the battles between me and me. That's what he said has been the problem with him, is even though he's undefeated, he's been having battles between myself on how I want to do and then the result that I put in, but I know how good I can be.
Priest looking sharp with that jab right now. Look at that, tripling it up, moving to his left, not letting Arias do that. Nice body shots, but missed that overhand right. That's the one that Arias is looking for, that lightning in the bottle, one punch knockout. He's not gonna find it with, as long as Priest is looking this sharp, not staying in front of him and not getting lazy.
Being calm and collected, Eric Priest. The strength and conditioning coach telling us that his resting heart rate is at 37.
Hands free, hands free.
Just nice and
Don't hit
in
behind
control.
the head, okay? Do not hit behind the head. You understand that? Well, back up, back up, back up, back up. Box. And go.
Arias, for a guy who wanted to be in charge, he's being moved back.
Yeah, this is an important round for Arias, who needs to make a statement, needs to land something, meaningful to turn this fight around. Because right now, the younger fighters having his way, moving.
Yeah, you want another point? You wanted him again. As Eric Priest said, I saw him fight when I was in high school when he fought Gabe Rosado. That was a draw back in 2018. That was a fight where both guys put a $10,000 side bet him against Rosado.
Nice shot there by Arias. Priest stuck down to his right and stayed there a little bit too long. You can't do that with veterans.
Watch your heads, watch your heads.
But is Arias doing anything or enough to win the round?
Not yet, but at least he has landed some shots in this round.
Good shot from Priest.
Hands free.
Man, Eric Priest is looking good.
Yeah, he's looking sharp, really sharp, and taking chances. It's not like he's not, you know, staying there for Arias to have success. He's breaking down Arias. He's moving him back. He's pushing him. I like that push right there.
Take charge.
Take charge, absolutely. Forget the referee. He's warning you too much. This is a fight.
Look at the replays.
Yeah, you could see that Arias is looking for something over the top, but he's not setting it up with body shots. Look at that body shot right there on the inside by Priest. Nice little short hook in the inside. Love everything I'm seeing by Priest right now. Everything behind a responsible long jab too.
Hands me, don't push.
Jorge Capetillo sends
Ooh, good shot there by Arias.
text every morning. Jale no para, you gotta work. Pretty sure that's the message now because they're running out of time and Arias coming out with a different energy. But Priest is right there to counter.
This is where we're gonna find out if what Luis Arias told us in the fighter meeting. This is last chance for him. You need to make it like it's your last chance. You gotta take the fight from this younger fighter. Take chances, put yourself at risk, and throw caution to the wind.
Like you said, I'm not being used here. I can make something happen, but it's Priest who's making everything happen. Controlling the fight, dominating the fight, Eric Priest.
This is the best I've seen Eric Priest so far.
Absolutely. This is the prospect that they signed.
And you can see that the veteran, the sly veteran in Arias trying to set up a nice wide left hook right there, but it's not. Priest is not falling for it right now. Priest is very responsible defensively behind that jab.
Time out. Listen, I'm giving you a hard warning, okay? Don't do that anymore. Knock it off. Next time it's gonna cost you. Time in. Box.
Hard warning, not a point.
He should have gave a hard warning earlier before he took away the initial point.
You heard it here in the 7th.
Hands free.
Remember Julian Tull was told by Eric Priest at the end of the first round, he doesn't hit hard about Arias. So Priest is just standing there.
Hands free, hands free.
Well, Arias has never been a puncher. You know, he's more of a workman-like guy, a tough guy. He doesn't punch hard, but he takes a big punch. And his experience, he knows how to make himself small. He's a rugged fighter. Oh, nice jab to the body right there by Priest. Walking back, walking down Arias now. No respect for the veteran.
None at all. So what did Julian Tull mean when he said we're gonna have to trick him into something?
Well, what the instructions that he was giving Priest was exactly the instructions that I was saying that Luis Arias should be doing. He should be jabbing the body, trying to fool Priest into something over the top. That's what you do. That's what they're wanting on the side of Eric Priest. Touch him downstairs and come over the top with a looping punch. Good body shots there by Eric Priest.
Watch your heads, watch your heads. Break. Stop. Step back. Box.
Yeah, you can see that Arias, the older fighter, 34-year-old fighter, he didn't like those body shots. You can see how his elbows are going down a little bit. I don't know if Priest recognizes that.
See Priest just jump on him right away.
More body shots, especially double up those shots. Aging fighters don't like body shots.
Well, who does?
Well, who does, yeah, but it takes away their legs a lot faster.
Watch your heads, 10 seconds.
So you can see there's not that much
Arm punches.
Yeah, they're arm punches. The power's away from Arias. The strength is away from those punches thanks to those body shots.
And Priest closes round number 7 strong. So your last fight here against who? Margarito?
No, it was Perro Angulo.
Oh, Perro Angulo, my bad.
Yeah, 2018 with Alfredo Angulo. That's when I knew it was done for me, though.
Did you win?
Yeah, I won.
But you still were like, no, I'm done.
I knew I was done. I was 38 years old, I believe, and I didn't have the legs anymore.
Well, that's one of the three. Arias, who said, I run 10 miles with Brandon Moreno. I feel great in the conditioning. I've been pushing myself. But still, 34, a lot of wear. It looks like he's starting to slow down in round number 8.
Yeah, but you know what? The older you get, you know, the running is not... The running is not really what you should be doing. It's more, you know, quick twitch muscles, sprints, you know. You don't want to do just, you know, long distance running. That's actually working against you.
Let's hear what the corner of Arias has to say.
Here with Jorge Capetillo, the trainer for Arias. What do you see from him? What does he need to adjust?
I think what I want him to do is to use a little more just to get inside and stay in the pocket using the laterals, you know, using the uppercuts, using the body shots. Luis, en el pocket, en adentro. Ahí, mijo, mueve la cintura, ahí viene el jab. Vio con la recta. Gancho y recta, Luis. Vamos, Nico, mide.
And what about the point deduction from that second round? What do you think of that?
I think it was too quick, to be honest, but it's what it is. We got to stay focused, and we got to keep the chair, make sure that he's good. I think he's doing good, and we see. Everything can change in a blink of the eye, and I hope he can make it for his family.
And what's the message to him going to be in this next round?
I want him to stay in the inside, in the inside pocket, touching and breaking his body, looking for the hook.
Thank you, Jorge.
Arias looking for that check left hook, but Priest is being responsible, keeping that right hand up. You can see that Arias can't compete with the youth and the punches with Priest, but he's trying to set up Priest in between the shots. That's what veterans do when they can't compete with the youth anymore. They just try to time you with one shot.
And it's Priest who's slipping punches, ducking punches. He's not falling for any of that.
No, he's not. That's what I mean, responsible. Because right now you can see Arias is a winded fighter. The power's not behind those punches anymore. Now he's just looking for one shot, that looping shot.
He doesn't have that one punch knockout power, does he?
No, he doesn't. He's never had that, but he's a strong puncher. But I just think he's dealing with someone really sharp today.
And I don't see Priest making any kind of mistakes.
Nope. He's very, he's sharp tonight, man.
And he's locked in.
I would like to see more body shots by Priest, but other than that, man, he's looking great. And what a feather in his cap if he can be the second man to stop a tough guy like Luis Arias.
Yeah, Erickson Lubin stopped him.
And Lubin's a big puncher.
Yeah.
So that would be a big statement by Priest if he could do that. But if he's going to do it, he's going to have to keep chopping him down in body shots.
There's some instructions there, but it's also digging into the hearts.
Yeah, man, that's what you want from your corner, man. Yeah, I mean, you want that voice that you trust with the instructions, but you also want someone to motivate you with passion.
Arias is running out of time. It's just Eric Priest looking so good here at our co-main.
Yeah, this is so far the best I've seen Eric Priest. Sharp, responsible, throwing the right combinations, smart combinations.
Yeah, in 2023, Priest had a fight with El Vecino, Simon Madsen, who's from Cancun, but he's from Norway. And they went back and forth, and Priest it was rugged, but he passed that test. And then the way he looks tonight, just completely different. The jabs from Priest, 214 thrown through 8 rounds.
Yeah, that's what I really liked in the beginning. When he came out jabbing. That's a beautiful thing to see from a young kid with only 15 fights. You pop him with that jab, use your footwork, make the older fighter feel every bit his 34 years old. That's how you take the fight out of veterans. You make them feel their age. You can see that Arias is falling off balance. He doesn't throw more than 2 shots anymore because now it's costing him too much. It takes too much strength. This is when Priest, if he wants to knock out, this is when he goes chase it.
Step back. Good job.
Yeah, the box crew at CompuBox, they're just sitting there looking at every jab that Priest was throwing. He has to stop throwing that jab. He's been very effective from the get-go.
Good body shot there by Arias.
Priest just looks like he's having fun.
Whoa, stop. Okay, pick it up, okay?
Come
Just
on.
pick it up, okay? All right, pick it up, all
It
right?
wasn't even...
Step back.
Yeah, when things are going your way, and he went right back to it.
And it was the exact same shot on the shorts.
That's the fighter's frustration of Sergio Mora.
It is. It really is, Beto. I mean, look, a referee has a very difficult job.
Absolutely.
But you also don't want to always be, nagging a fighter. That's how he fights. He's a rugged fighter. He's going to test the boundaries.
And Priest, to his credit, just keeps coming, controlling this fight, going toe-to-toe with Arias.
Yeah, it's like he's looking for the stoppage.
He wants to send that message
He
to the
wants
middleweight.
to make a statement. Yep.
Heading towards the 10th and final round of our co-feature. Eric Priest dominating in Las Vegas. Main event still to come.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 10th and final round.
Crowd letting it be known they've been entertained by Luis Arias and Eric Priest, who's just dominating. Is Priest gonna step on that gas? He's gonna put it in the final gear?
He's gonna have to. I mean, I expected him to do this a little earlier, but I just think the legs, the sharpness of Eric Priest hasn't given the older veteran an opportunity to land something big. That's when you actually got to start just focusing on the body of a younger fighter. Even
Let go of his head. Stop. Pick your head up, okay?
you know, you touch the body and be content with that. Don't load up for shots like that. You know, you break down younger fighters that are fresh on their feet, quicker with their hands. You know, you break them down to the body, you make them make mistakes, get overconfident, then you leap the shots over the top.
Middleweight division is very, very interesting. As you're climbing your way of Eric Priest, I think he's found a good home with Julian Chua and the Brick House boxing crew.
Oh, stop. Listen to me, okay? All right, step back. Box.
He's only 26 years old.
There you go. That's what I wanted to see from Arias earlier, is ripping the body with the hooks like that. That's what's going to actually get the younger fighter to fall for an overhand right. But if you're not lining him, if you're not setting that punch for the later rounds, like right there, that left hook, that would have been set up if he was throwing left hands downstairs.
Too little, too late?
Too little, too late, yeah, because now Priest already got the range down, he got the speed down, he got the timing down, so he's not going to fall for it now.
As the fight progressed, Priest got stronger and looked like he got also really smarter.
That's it. Watch your head.
Avoiding
more comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you want to do with youth. You know, whenever you're fighting a younger fighter, you want to start fast against them because you're the veteran. You don't want to let them get, you know, comfortable in there. Make them feel impose your will, impose your experience.
But it was Eric Priest who imposed his will. And Arias never got comfortable. Oh, there's that right hand that rocks Priest momentarily. A hook from Arias, who's just got to empty the kitchen sink. He's just going upstairs. And why is Priest doing this?
And this is what I needed to see from Luis Arias earlier. But Priest is staying on the inside, not moving his head.
That's right. Stick it out.
Letting Arias land that overhand right. And still coming forward.
But why even play with fire if you're controlling this fight?
Because he has no respect for him. He has no respect.
He's asking him to bring it. Eric Priest asked for it. He got it. Final seconds of our co-main. A good one. And it's been all Eric Priest as he lands a hook right at the bell.
Excellent performance by Eric Priest, man. Went through the fire, beat an old veteran, an old lion like Luis Arias. This was a statement win and the best name on his young resume.
Absolutely. What highlights?
Fun because Eric Priest continued coming after taking a big shot like that, right on top of the head. That's what Arias was looking for the entire fight. And those body shots still trying to loop over the top. And what does Eric Priest do? Get on his front foot and want more. Wanted to finish this fight. Give the fans a good experience tonight, man. This was the sharpest, the best, and the most exciting I've seen from Priest.
Absolutely, and to make it official, Joe Martinez.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. Here are the judges' totals. Both Eric Cheek and Patricia Morse-Jarman see it 99-90. Max DeLuca, 96-93. All for your winner by unanimous decision. He is still the undefeated